Aloha kako apau. I'm Kai Opua Fife with the Kawani Foundation, bringing you another segment of Voices of Truth, one-on-one with Hawaii's future. And here today with us in this beautiful room inside, this for a change, is our great guest here, Sam Ka'ai, known throughout Hawaii. And the first time we've been able to kind of get him down, sit down for a few minutes and have a little discussion with us. Sam, mahalo nui for being with us. Appreciate it very much. This is another segment that we're doing here at the Ritz-Carlton Celebration of the Arts. And I know, Sam, you've been involved with this for quite a while, huh?
Since it started.
Since the beginning. So this is 15 years.
Yes, this is the 15th year.
And you have a very clear function, I know, in the ceremonies, and we've been coming here for several years ourselves, and you make sure everything is lined up and the troops are moving where they're supposed to be moving.
Well, in the early years, I gave some of the talks on our and its ceremony, and weaponry, Trishin, all of those things.
Sure.
But now I function as two toots.
You preside, huh?
I preside.
You preside, yeah.
And of course, this year they gave this.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you essentially got the award. There's an annual award for people who have really gone way over the top on contributing to supporting the culture, and I think a lot of it through this. And it's called Namahana, award for Auntie Namahana.
Yes.
And it was quite touching because I remember the last couple of years that she was alive when she was here, she was always right there in the lobby, ready to visit and talk. She was actually a schoolmate of my mother's.
She was?
Yeah, and so
she just was a lovely lady.
Yeah, just tremendous, tremendous. But at any rate, even in going back before this, our focus on this program is to try to encourage people who are kind of floundering out there, don't have a focus or a fix, by interviewing people like yourself, all the others that we do, that, everybody has a responsibility and they have a kuleana. The earlier you can find it, the better for you and the better for our communities. And maybe you could talk with us about how some of the major changes in your life, starting early, and how you wound up going in whatever directions you wound up going in.
Yeah. Schooling makes you somebody else's children.
Mm-hmm.
It gives you a bias that someone calls logic, but in fact it marginalizes where you come from and try to homogenize you in a different world.
Yeah.
So
limits you.
Things that we did that were Hawaiian, so-called Hawaiian, was just things that the family did. And every family has its highs, its low. I was born in Hana and grew up in Kaupo and then Waihe'e, and I went to Tokyo High in Honolulu and then went to the Academy of Arts, and my service time was sort of in between the Korean War and the Vietnam, so we avoided those unpleasantries.
So your little window of military experience
was in between.
In between,
yeah. See? So
well, that's good.
The Kaupo had a lot of old people who kept ideas that were unique to that area. It took you 2 days to get to Wailuku from Kaupo. So during the Depression, I was born in 1938, there was no depression in Kaupo.
Nobody even knew. Huh?
We didn't know what poor or hired. There were people that were the makuas, and there was the field. You did stuff because that's the way you did it, and there was no question, no gray. One time in the 50s, there was lava coming down in Kona, and it could be seen from Kaupo. And the Catholic priest who stayed at the house said that he would stay after Sunday services to convert, because all the Kanakas were down at the Hale Kakalika Catholic Church. And my tutu, who kept, big statues in the house and the red and the blue candle, told him he needed to go to Kipuhulu because they had some needs for his service. And he said, no, he would stay to, bring everyone to the Lord. And then she said, well, I have to go to the other church, the Hale Kalavina church. He said, well, you shouldn't do that. You're good of this faith, and therefore... and he said, no, I'm not going into the Halepule. I'm going to sit outside on the bench by the window, and they're going to pass me the Himene book through the window. And when they lend voices to praise Akua, I will lend my voice to them. And he said, well, why would you do that? He said, because if Haleakala Pu and the lava come down, when we get to St. Peter, we will be all the same color. Pulehu. It would be hard to tell us apart. And don't you think that it would be righteous or right to forgive each other our trespasses now and our quibbling and our land arguments and field arguments and any other disagreement? It would be such a gracious thing to give as a gift to St. Peter. But there is danger. The sign is on the horizon. Everybody must come together. It is not about that. So everybody had the church, and all of, we had Kalavina and Kakalika and Momena. But when somebody fell off the horse and broke his femur, the prayer that was prayed came from an other persuasion, an earlier one. And I said, why you choose that? Well, because it worked before. It is known by many voices before me, and it is really good to say. So it's not about choosing one or the other. Country people had a public face, and they had a face. Another thing happened. My cousin Joe, when the governor used to send all the military boys up to Fort Benning and they take the high of Hawaii, well, he was selected. So he came home to get the blessing from the Makuas. And the father blessed him and everybody. And then when it came to Kukukane ke Aloha, he said, I cannot ask the Uhane of peace to make you a better warrior, or for you to be good as a nakoa on a man that has not slighted me, but someone over there said he is the enemy. We have gods of war, and we had gods of different kinds of war. But I cannot ask the Prince of Peace to bless you to go off and make haka haka. That you choose. They don't confuse these things. In other words, in the spirit, there are many faces. Don't go to Yesu and give him everything, all your pilikia. You have kuliana, take care of your pilikia. So that's country thinking. Remember old timers, if you invited somebody to Yulu out for play music, they only play the song the Tutuman Road, the Makua Road, the Uncle Road. It came from that line, was known. Remember when the Bima family played only Bima songs? Had plenty of family. Today, we Hana Inu and we take the other guy's song. Oh, I buy the record, so I own it. I own it. So get the same thing in the confusion when we say mahalo. And we mean mahalo as in English gratitude. But mahalo means I admire you. I don't own it. I admire you singing it. You knew it. Your song, your poem. And I can say, ho, please do it again. Hana ho. But gratitude is ho pao, thank you, it's now mine. Different way of thinking. So when we say, are you somebody else's children? As you take on the Occidental and Oriental way, or the pa'alani, then peher kapaku, peher kapoi kanaka. There were virtues there 5,000 years long before they called you by this name of non-assimilation, Polynesian. They didn't want to learn you are Paku or you Kanaka Moana or you Kanaka, so they call you by something else, Polynesian. That's a strange word they call me in Latin. Mm-hmm. My mother doesn't call me that. Mm-hmm. So people talk about you as a separate. Country people don't do that. And so we didn't have anything special until there was a kind of awakening that we were becoming diluted or la, so many times you spread out that something dissipating.
Yeah.
Then those things became kind of fashionable. We had a lot of hula awana. Hula by nature is, they say dance, but hula is awana. It go from place to place and beguile and be pleasant. Hula ha'a, nobody smiled. You were the outer leaf on the tree of sauce. After mini la la, you sang their song, not yours.
Not for entertainment. No.
Well, it is a reflection. So we call it prayer, but it is a ritual. It is a style to reproduce a condition known well by generations of yours, of a pleasantry that was sustaining. Those kind of ideas you never get in school. School wanted you to learn how to turn the cauldrons of Macbeth. Well, we get our own kipulos. We don't need yours.
Well, how successful was your schooling in assimilating you?
Oh, well.
It didn't work too well?
I have certain handicaps. Right now, I am computer illiterate, so so I have to say somebody else could use the computer for me.
So that gives you a lot of time to do other things then?
I don't know. You know, when I went to the Academy of Art, the first year I took sculpture from Edward Brownlee, and the next year I taught wood carving because no one could use the adze. So, but that's not fair. I grew up in a family that made canoes. The first thing you do is learn how to hammer the adze, sharpen them, put them, otherwise they don't want you around. You go get firewood and get water and make tea. Don't come hana ino us. So you have to show interest in something. You have people who say they're teachers. I don't really want to learn wood carving. Just teach me enough so I can teach. For Hawaiian, that's almost a thing we cannot grasp.
Yeah.
So maybe there are other people like that. I'm not everybody else. So, but the idea of being able to mimic rather than do.
Yeah. And without the big background that it takes
Yeah,
to do it.
and life too short to learn everything.
Yeah.
Well-rounded, which means a lot of nothing. So,
well, there are a lot of teachers who are, what do they say, one page ahead of the class, you know. So you see a lot of that.
yeah, well, and two, you know, like we're in arts, the contemporary art, Hawaiian arts. I don't know. They're hana kahiku, and it's pleasant to do that and get self-expression. Let's take weapons, for instance, right now, becoming very fashionable as a artificial curiosity. They take the kakalamoa, look like a D-ring, they call knuckle. They don't know how to use it, but then they put the iho a'u on it. Well, that looked like a Bowie knife, but that's not how the Kanaka use that. If you know how to dance the kakalamoa, that's a swinging weapon. So what's this for? we're getting into the fanciful of not knowing. Most things are Hawaiian things tend to be simple. They are
functional.
They are our elder brothers and younger brothers who embellish. There's some embellishment by the Maoris and embellishment by the Kanaka Hiva. They're putting mana and language on that piece. Hawaiian, simple, get it done.
Functional.
Yeah. So you put the fancy out and you don't know how to use it. Sometime in 1880, 1890, they called a stone with a hole in it a pi'ikoi. That is a wooden weapon, usually for women, to increase their strength because it's a mace. And it can be used for tripping. But now they have smaller clubs, and people are calling, those are pi'ikois. That's misnomer. Was misnomer in 1922 when Kenneth Embree said it? It was misnomer when Sir Peter Buck said it. Both of which didn't use the thing. And today there's a new book coming up, taking that which was misnomered there and bringing it forward. You copy and you bring forward. But that, my uncle then look at that and they say, puaku pu'umanamana. Lima. Or puaku lima pu'umanamana. Means clench stone fist. No more use for it if you're brawling, because you're picking a fight. But if you're going to war, you hit somebody so many times with your fist, you will be the one that expires at the time. Okay, so they use a stone. Some of these, and sometimes they call it never, kamana pu'u lima club. But this thing was so hitting, so no hurt. Yet these things get carried forward, just like when
Punani stylized.
Yeah, we mimic and we take forward, see? Yeah. And if you just go and use it, it's like all kind of magic about poi, yeah? And somebody, how come when they make the poi at Pukola, tastes different? I thought, because Nakanilua, he harvests the kalo one day, cook the next day, then ku'i'ai, then rest. We send it over there, and before we have a aikapu'u there, you kupele that thing. And the poi is different. And I said, you know why you think it's different? Because most of you belong to the polyethylene tribe. You eat your bag from one poi. Poi, you take out of the plastic bag. Aika poi pake, they add water to that poi to make it stretch. And that's the poi they sell in the store. It doesn't have the miko taste of the one who makes the pa'iai. But if you don't do that, that simple thing, the bread, did you miss the taste? Talk to people on Kauai. It's, leave it over there, that salt tastes like that. And leave it over here, tastes another way. There was Kaupo salt when I grew up, here on Maui, and there was Molokai salt. And closer to Kalamaula, the salt tastes one way. There was Opai salt and Opihi salt. There was Ilamuna salt. There was Alai Wahine and Alai Kane salt. Today, or some salt. So as you unfamiliar with things of your own people, you start to miss that. It's there like shaka. That's for idiots, not for Hawaiians. Shaka come from China Marines and flying air deals that land at Kaheke Lagoon and floor seaplanes and use these, switch on, switch off, yaw to the right, yaw to the left. And when you hit the shack with a bomb, shaka, hang loose.
Is that where that comes from?
Yeah, it's not Hawaiian. Yeah. So we take the fancy, make it special, and make the Hawaiian and let it go. You remember all the Kolohe songs in Kaupo, after you eat dinner, you go out to the front porch with the kukui helepo. And Tutu going to talk about what field going to be cut, and she's shopping the sickle, and you're going to handle the horse. And then they play music. And, about 8 o'clock, as all a nice kind of music, they get one himene, and then the people who are going to work up at 3 go sleep. And then the songs start to get more kolohe. And they pick on each other with a song. That kind of music had a lot of Hawaiian philosophy inside. You miss that. Everybody say, oh, you need to get around the table and have dinner together. You need to talk story. The generation after me, no can play music. The one before that, there was nobody who couldn't play music. I had one Uncle A, he played mandolin, violin, dulcimer, piano, and violin.
Whatever was lying around. Yeah.
Yeah, you like make sound, make sound. So people talk, oh, haku, what? Ki oli, the slack key,
Kiwalu. Yeah,
Kiwalu, Okay. Where did that song come from? Maui chime, where did that come from? Come from German and English and Scottish parlor boxes. There are 10 songs, very fashionable, 1870, 1880. And the Hawaiians, not going to afford that, but put on the steel string and make it sound just like that box. And some of these chimes are lullabies from those people. Yeah, so when we say Hawaiian, the chambrada is the instrument of the poker keys. And the guitar is from the Hispaniola. And the style of playing is called the fandango. And Royal Hawaiian Band is a umpa German band.
Burger.
Yeah? And 4-part a cappella, 7 kind. That is all foreign music with Hawaiian lyrics. So pay attention to the lyrics. That's the Kanaka part. And see what wisdom that has. It's not complicated. It's that you advertise and given credit for listening and being somebody else's children. If you want to call yourself Hawaiian children, it would be good to talk Hawaiian. My Hawaiian not that good. That's not your fault. That's mine. Don't cut yourself short. So, for me, making Kemehana o Hawaii, when you make a koe, the kane ala, that is the koe blade. Kane ala is the name of the black stone, one of the akua. And then the la'au, e hango e ka kaula ho pa mai, e kalai ke kumu la'au ke hanau e ka wa'a. If you don't know how to make cord, by the time you're 8 years old, you kind of ihepa. You might be smart doing something else. And everything, you're talking about old-fashioned. How many school teacher no can balance the checkbook? Smart? No smart? Expected but not done? There's no difference. So, when you koe, you carve the umeke or the tray or thing. As you watch this blade transform this lau, over here, the handle is transforming your lima. It's giving it blisters. You're changing your body to make it work. Those things teach you something too. And so by doing things Hawaiian, you learn, you are taught, you are shaped. And your opinions get not as flamboyant, they get small. Because you're not talking about colors, you're talking about blisters. And by liking those things, the rhythm goes on. That's all the country people afforded. They used to make, here, he's a Hawaiian one, we used to call puaku kaka'aloa. Oh, that's the wrong way to say it. No. Kaka means to pile up. That's what it means. The fishermen put 7 hooks on his head. They're called nahiko kaka kaula, or hapai, bottom fish, or pakapaka. But then that word become a slang in the city. Or it's embarrassing to say that. You gotta kind of understand.
But they're disconnected from the
They're disconnected from your
purpose of it.
kupuna and what they're telling you. And those things, there was no right or wrong. There was the things to be laughed at and the things to cry about. Today people say, oh, I'm a Kanaka Maori. What that? Oh, I'm a real Hawaiian. Yeah? Well, I remember that word when I was a kid, where it came like, hey, oi Maori, are you real? Hele ka ala nui no ya ka ino ya ka makua. He hea hui kalani. He haha oe, ke ue, ke luai. Would heaven laugh if you were on the street with your father's good name? Would heaven cry? Or would heaven puke on you? Very different. Are you Maori? Today I hear you say, oh, Kanaka Iwi. I mean, no, you know, the whole Maori or the whole Iwi. We Kanaka. You know, the shadow of God, Kane, the Akua, and the Aka is Kanaka. They made that word a bad word in the 20s. They made that word nigger. That's okay. We can use that word. The black people don't like it anymore. We know when you're calling us names. We are Kanaka. I'm not of the Hebraic persuasion or the songs of Paul. I honor them, but I am a seaman of God. You look at the Hanai. You know the Bible says begot, and the Hawaiians say born from, hadau. Well, that's how you came down. Don't get embarrassed because somebody else said it was wrong. Just find out what your tutu really means. You'll find out it's a wonderful song. Down in Aotearoa, if you cannot sing the pre-birth song, the birth song, the puberty song, the wedding song, and the tangi, the death songs, you cannot call yourself that you belong to that tribe. So if you start learning how to sing like Satchmo, because it's good for him, then who are you?
With that question, we're going to have to end this.
Okay.
But the question, who are you, is the whole point of our interview. Who are you? Who are you? The circular way you got to it is fantastic. Mahalo, Sam Ka'ai, Kaiupua 5 with Voices of Truth from the Kawani Foundation. I'm in awe. Mahalo nui.